When your inner reality changes, your outer world then changes to reflect that. We just stayed stuck in these paradigms, these belief systems about who we are, and it created a whirlpool effect of momentum, but you can reverse that. Neuroplasticity tells us that we can reprogram our minds to reflect higher self-worth. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alyssa, and this channel is about the law of attraction, building self-empowerment, and conquering limiting self-beliefs. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you stay notified when I post new content. Also, if you end up liking this video, go ahead and hit that like button to support the channel and make it easier for other people to find it. Leave me a comment and share this video if you find it useful. So in this video, I am getting into the key to manifestation, okay? No joke, no clickbait. This is truly the key to manifesting the things in your life that you want. So we're gonna be talking about our self-worth. Now this doesn't seem like a big law of attraction topic, right? Well, it is. Because so much of what we attract in our lives, if not everything, is a direct reflection of how we're feeling about ourselves and what we feel we're worthy of on a core level. I did a video on the law of correspondence a while back, and it's the law that uses the example of as above, so below, as within, so without. So the manifestations in your life correspond with the feelings that you have about yourself. Low self-worth is quite possibly the biggest block we come across when manifesting new lives for ourselves. So today I want to go over what self-worth is. I'm going to pinpoint some signs of low self-worth, where those things could have come from, and towards the end of the video, I'll give you some actionable tips that you can use to get started on upping your self-worth so that you can start attracting evidence of you being a manifesting badass. I believe that everything from career and finances to love and relationships are all interconnected through where your self-worth is at. And when you step into that worth, you become a magnet to incredible changes in your life. So if you're excited, hit that like button and let's get into it. So what is self-worth? Well, plain and simple, it's how you feel about yourself, and it's your belief systems around what you feel like you deserve in life on a subconscious level. Sometimes consciously too, but as you may know, 95% of our lives are run by our subconscious minds. So I'll be focusing mainly on that. So most of what you've picked up around your self-worth was imprinted on your subconscious from 0 to 7 years old. So it mainly stems from childhood. And our level of self-worth, even from that far back, is still dictating what we manifest into our lives today. And before I go deeper into all of that, how do you know if you have low self-worth? This list can go on, but some of the more common signs of having low self-worth are anything from excessive people-pleasing to taking up self-destructive habits like excessive drug and alcohol use, taking abuse from others, staying in unhealthy relationships, not setting boundaries. Low self-worth can also show up by making you cringe when you receive a compliment, settling for jobs, staying quiet, not communicating your needs, indicating that you're not worthy of being seen or heard. And another more obvious one is consciously talking down to yourself. You beat yourself up when you make a mistake, your inner monologue is saying you're a dumbass. We've all been there. And sometimes it's just an overall feeling of being small or insignificant. I also recommend looking at not just how you feel, but your habits. What's your diet like? Are you treating your body right? Are you practicing self-care? Are you giving yourself some time each day to check in with yourself? I told you the list can go on and on and on, asking the reasons behind where your self-worth is at. See, when we're born, we're already coming into the world as fully worthy beings. And we don't question that until our families, peers, media, society, whoever comes into the picture and gives us reasons to question that, right? So we start carrying around self-doubt at a young age. Our self-esteem starts to deplete. And then we develop habits that confirm and hardwire that. So your predominant thoughts, feelings, and habits that you've maintained since childhood have been manifesting more evidence of low self-worth into our lives. Manifestations like hurtful or abusive partners, one-sided friendships, unsatisfying jobs, scarcity of money, safety, well-being, etc. Remember, the ego needs to be right, so it seeks out confirmation of our innermost beliefs. So if you're not happy with XYZ in your life and it feels like the universe is always against you, then it's time to start looking at your self-worth. Because for one reason or another, you don't feel you deserve what you want in life. Otherwise, you'd have it. So you've got some blocks that you need to work on. Again, as above, so below. The universe is just mirroring the signals that you're giving off. So why do we have low self-worth? Well, we all have different perspectives, cultures, upbringings, different meanings to things, so it can come in many different forms, as can the reasons behind it. But again, mostly it stems from childhood. Since we're little egomaniacs as kids, if something happens, like our parents split up or they start arguing more, maybe they start becoming emotionally unavailable or withdrawn at some point, whatever the case, we may think these things are our fault or that we're the cause of it. Or maybe it was a teacher or an authority figure that said something to you and it made you feel inadequate or small. Maybe it was the media telling you what it means to be beautiful or attractive, and your appearance didn't fit that exact standard, so you felt insignificant or less than these celebrities that were shoved in your face every day. It could even come from simply watching a parent with low self-worth. You can take on and absorb this behavior just by observing it as a kid. Sometimes it's not even really your beliefs that this comes from. Food for thought. So let's get into what you can do to conquer these feelings of self-doubt and tackle these stories behind what you feel like you're worthy or not worthy of. Well, something that you can start doing right now, and it's something that seems kind of obvious, but pamper yourself. The degree to which you take care of yourself is the degree to which you will allow others to take care of you, the universe included. I'm not saying blow your paycheck on a shopping spree and a 5-course dinner for yourself, unless that's within your means and it makes you happy, of course, in which case bring me with you. But I am saying not to neglect yourself. Take those bubble baths. Find time every single day to do something that you love. Treat your body right. Show that some extra love. Get a massage, take a nap. We're in this treat yourself culture, but are we really channeling that in the right ways? And get into the habit of acknowledging and appreciating your appearance and personality more. This could be a game changer in itself. As difficult as it may seem at first, start with the little things that you already like about yourself and just add to that list every single day. So self-appreciation and pampering are steps that you can start with now. So another thing that you can and absolutely should do if you're making this shift into higher self-worth is doing inner child work. Okay, this is a journey of healing wounds that you may have had for years, if not decades, right? So if you're serious about getting into deliberate manifestation, that requires you to bring some things to the surface so that you can let them go. More often than not, you need to subtract something old to attract something new. So that means taking a look at what you were exposed to as a kid. So doing inner child healing work is a crucial step to increasing your self-worth. But how does one do that? Well, I started doing this by writing down certain patterns that dictate my own self-worth, like my financial habits, eating habits, relationships, etc. And then I wrote down my core beliefs about men, love, money, success, etc. And then I'd go into meditation and determine at around what point in my life I started feeling that way about those things. It doesn't have to be an exact day that something happened, but I figured out just general timelines that these things may have stemmed from, and that's made a huge difference. And this is what I do now. I picture these times, and I go back and talk to that child version of myself, and I tell her what she needs to hear at the time, that she is loved, safe, seen, heard, and worthy. And I let myself feel what I tried so hard to suppress back then. I let myself process the emotions that come up by letting them be there and observing them. We're so conditioned to numbing or ignoring our emotions, but by doing that, they sit in our bodies waiting to be released. And by acknowledging them and letting them be there, you're letting them go. As paradoxical as that sounds, we're humans. We're meant to feel negative emotions, but we're also meant to simply acknowledge them, learn from them, and let them go, not make them a part of us. We physically grew up, but we left a lot of things unprocessed as kids. So that inner child is still there in pain, waiting for us to acknowledge them and show them the love and approval that they lacked back then. And you can give that to yourself on a quantum level just by starting this inner child healing work. So the third and final tip that I'll share with you guys today on upping your self-worth game is mirror work. I believe it was Louise Hay who coined that term. She did write a book called Mirror Work, so that's a safe assumption. But mirror work is pretty much how it sounds, but it may not be as easy as it sounds, if that makes sense. So it's the act of setting aside a few minutes each day to stare into a mirror, really look at yourself and observe what comes up, whether that's sadness and anger or love and compassion. Don't judge, just look. If you can smile at yourself, that could be pretty powerful. It might feel weird at first, but just let it happen. You can use affirmations or mantras in this process as well. Believe it or not, this can help tremendously in raising your self-worth. So for example, you can say things like, I am beautiful and incredible inside and out, or I am now stepping into my power and my worth. I use my voice easily and express my needs to others. I am safe, loved, and worthy. Get creative. You can also use those as you are statements. Just find something that speaks to you. And this is gonna feel uncomfortable at first, but just do it by yourself. You can whisper the affirmations if you use them, and just start with 2 minutes a day. Try to work up to 5 and ultimately try for 10 minutes a day. But this can be powerful because it almost forces you to look at yourself through different eyes, or different lenses, if you will. After all, you're not just looking in a mirror like you normally do when you get ready. You'll really be looking at yourself. And eventually, you'll develop a new appreciation for yourself. And by giving yourself that love and approval, you'll start seeing more of that from other people. So those are the 3 starter tips that I have for you guys in increasing your self-worth to become more magnetic. To sum up, those were pampering yourself, doing the inner child healing work, and trying mirror work. I'll mention more ways to up your self-worth throughout other videos because, again, the list can go on, but these are just some tips to get you going. And ultimately, the end goal is to find a sense of inner peace and unconditional love for yourself. Just know that your core vibration is peace and love. So those feelings already exist inside of you. You just have to tap into them to attract things that align with that. Law of vibration. When your inner reality changes, your outer world then changes to reflect that. We just stayed stuck in these paradigms, these belief systems about who we are, and it created a whirlpool effect of momentum, but you can reverse that. Neuroplasticity tells us that we can reprogram our minds to reflect higher self-worth. And when you do that, when you unconditionally love yourself, accept your shadow aspects, set boundaries, speak up, and live authentically, you'll start to break through those barriers of self-doubt and fear, and you'll see magic start magnetizing itself into your life. So I really hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and please leave me a comment with any takeaways that you got from this video or any questions that you may have, and go ahead and share this video as well if you found it helpful. But thank you guys so much for watching today, and as always, please be safe, much love, and I'll see you next time.